Hare Krishna, welcome everyone to our Chaitanya Charitamrita class. We'll begin with our prayers. Omagyanatimirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshuruन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. श्रीचैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्. वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिकाकांत राधाकांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. So we are continuing our discussion from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. We are in chapter 22nd, entitled Lord Chaitanya instructs Sanatana Goswami on the process of devotional service. In the previous chapter, we heard Mahaprabhu explaining about the Sambandha Gyan, and in this chapter, he has started explaining the process, the Abhidheya, and he began by describing the various expansions of the Lord, Swamsha, Vibhinnamsha, and then he describes how the Vibhinnamsha, the living entities, they fall in this material world and how they can be delivered. They can be delivered by the process of devotional service. After many, many lifetimes, one surrenders to the Supreme Lord. Amadinam katina katitha palita durnidesha. After many, many lives, now I have surrendered to you, O my Lord. I have served my anarthas for many, many millions of lifetimes. Then he starts describing the glories of devotional service, how bhakti, it is superior to any other path. It is superior to karma, jnana, and ashtanga. In fact, karma and jnana, they are useless without the practice of devotional service. As Chatushloki Bhagavatam, one of the verse describes, Rite artham pratiyeta na pratiyeta chatmani. If bhakti is there, other things are not there, bhakti will give the result of everything. But if jnana, karma, yoga is there, bhakti is not there, they will not get the result of any of it. Mahaprabhu quotes many verses from Bhagavan Srimad Bhagavatam, how the perfection of devotional service, perfection of any activity is devotional service. Tapasvino dana paraya shishtvino manasvino mantravido sumangala shemam na vindanti vinaya darpanam tasmai svadra shravase namo namaha. Without the process of devotional service, jnana, practice of jnana is like beating the empty husk. And then Mahaprabhu describes that the living entities, they can achieve perfection only by surrender. Krishna, he is like the Surya. Krishna Surya Sam, Maya hai andhakar. And Maya is like the illusion, darkness. And if Krishna is there, there is no darkness. And anyone who approaches Krishna and tells Krishna even once, I am yours. Krishna tomar hano yadi bole ek baar. I am yours, Krishna. Maya bandh hoite Krishna tare kare par. Although that living entity may be bound by illusion, but Krishna delivers him. As Lord Ram makes that declaration in Ramayana, Sakrit eva prapannoya tavasmiti chayachate abhayam sarvada tasmai. Whatever you want, come to Krishna. Krishna will give everything. In fact, all the karmis, jnanis, and yogis, they become intelligent when they surrender to Krishna. And in this way, Krishna, even if somebody goes to Krishna for material desires, Krishna fulfills them in such a wonderful way that the devotee loses all the material desires. So we discussed till verse number 42, where Mahaprabhu quoted a verse by Dhruv Maharaj, where he says, I was looking for broken pieces of glass, what I have got is diamond. Now, this next section is a very wonderful section in which Mahaprabhu describes how one attains devotional service by devotees' mercy. And the famous, very, very famous verse is quoted here. Samsar भ्रमिते kona भाग्यवान जीव guru Krishna कृपाय पाए bhakti lata beach. This will come in some time. संसार भ्रमिते कोन्य भाग के तरे नदीर प्रवाहे न काष्ठा लागे तीरे. This is the verse quoted here. Just like in the river, two logs of wood, they come together and they again get separated. Nadira pravahena kashtha lage tire. Or sometimes one log of wood floating reaches the shore. It happens by some chance. Similarly, samsara bhramite konya bhagya kehatare. By some inconceivable fortune, a living entity comes to this process of devotional service and comes out of that nishains of material existence. It is not so easy. Prabhupada writes, there are unlimited conditioned souls who are bereft of Krishna consciousness. Not knowing how to cross this ocean, they are scattered by the waves of time. In the pursuit of enjoyment, in the pursuit of trying to be happy in this material world, living entity keeps trying. Sometimes beaten, sometimes gets good conditions of life, just like a dog. Shutparito yathadinam sarame agriham griham charan vindanti addinam dandam odanam evava. Sometimes a dog gets a nice food to eat, sometimes he's beaten. Tatha kamashayo jiva bhute shuchavacheshvanu uparyadho madhyeva yati dishtam priya priyam. Similarly, a living entity in this material universe, upari, sometimes goes up, adho sometimes goes down, madhya sometimes stays in the middle planetary systems. He enjoys, sometimes he suffers. He's he's thrown away by the tides of the time. Sometimes up, sometimes down, depending on his own activities. Somehow, if he's fortunate, come in touch with devotees, then he gets devotional service. And then he comes out of this ocean of material existence. Mahaprabhu quotes a verse spoken by Akrura. Akrura, he was sent by Kamsa to bring Krishna and Balaram. As he enters Vrindavan, he sees the footprints of Krishna and Balaram. He recognizes them immediately. He starts rolling in the dust of the Vrindavan. Maevam mamadhamasyapi syate vachut darshana riyamana kalanadya kvajit tarati kaschana. I am so unfortunate, I am so fallen, not unfortunate, I am so fallen. Although I am so fallen, I shall get a chance to see the Supreme Lord. Maevam mama adhamasyapi. Although I am so fallen, adhama, today I will get the darshan of the Supreme Lord. Achyut darshana. Riyamana kalanadya kvachit tarati kashana. Just like in the waves of the river, sometimes one reaches the shore. It is not so easy to reach the shore of ocean automatically. A straw which is there floating in the ocean or in the river may reach the shore by some chance. So that's what Akrura says. Kvachittarati kashchana. By some chance, that straw reaches the shore by some good fortune. Similarly, today I will take darshan of the Lord. And what is that good fortune of a living entity? That he gets devotional service? को न भाग्य कारो संसार शयोन्मुख होए साधु संग तबे कृष्ण रति उपजय को न भाग्य कारो संसार शयोन्मुख. In some life, one turns away from the material existence. By some good fortune, one becomes eligible to cross over this ocean of nishayans. Kona bhagye karo samsara shayonmukha. To go away from the ocean of material existence. When this happens, when this good fortune arises, sadhu sanga tabe, when one associates with devotees. Krishna rati upajay, then he develops attachment for Krishna. It doesn't happen automatically. Without association of devotees, one will never get devotion. There are three types of Sukriti. Prabhupada writes in the purport. He quotes Bhaktivinoda Thakur. What is this Bhagya? This Bhagya, is it a result of an accident or some pious fortune? What is this Bhagya? Kona Bhagya Karo Samsara Kshayonmukha. What is this Bhagya? That is called as technically Sukriti. So Sukriti, it is of three types. Bhogonmukhi Sukriti, Mokshonmukhi Sukriti, Bhakti Unmukhi Sukriti. Bhogonmukhi Sukriti means if somebody has done lots of pious activities in the past life, then he gets a chance to enjoy material things in this world. That is called as Bhogonmukhi Sukriti. You know, people say, oh, he's very fortunate, Bhagyashali, because he gets all the wealth, money, fame, prestige, power, beauty. That is Bhagya in this world. That is the result of past lives, pious activity. Bhogonmukhi Sukriti. Mokshanmukhi Sukriti means if somebody, he gets a chance to practice impersonal Brahman liberation, that process, Mokshanmukhi Sukriti, merge into existence of the Supreme, that pious activity. If somebody has done that process in the past life, he'll be able to do it very easily in this life also. And the third is a very interesting type of Sukriti that is called as Bhakti Unmukhi Sukriti. That type of pious activity which makes one favorable to the process of devotional service. What is this Bhakti Unmukhi Sukriti? Prabhupada writes actually this Bhogonmukhi Sukriti and Mokshanmukhi Sukriti, they are not actually fortunate things. Because either Bhoga or Moksha, they are still materially contaminated. Bhukti Mukti Siddhi Kami Sakaliya Shanta Krishna Bhakta Nishakamate Shanta. Anything you do in this material world, it is miserable. Any material, even liberation. The desire for liberation is itself painful. Klesho adhikatarastesham avyakta sakta chetasam avyakta hi gati dukkha. The process is painful, the result is painful. Real fortune is when one comes to the process of devotional service by coming in touch with the devotee. That is called as Bhakti Unmukhi. That is real Sukriti. That is real fortune of a devotee, of a living entity. And this happens only by association of devotees. Doesn't happen automatically. In the second canto, third chapter, Shukdev Goswami gives a list of Devta worship. If you want this, go to this Devta. You want that, you go to that Devta. Parikshit Maharaj gets a question. At what stage of life will these Devta worshippers graduate to become Krishna worshipper? Shukdev Goswami says, no, it doesn't happen like that. it only happens by association of devotees. Yad Bhagavata Sangataha. Bhagavati achalo bhavo yad Bhagavata Sangataha. Only by Bhagavad Sangha one can become devotee, one can become Krishna worshipper. Otherwise, it will not happen automatically, gradually. Okay, you keep worshipping devatas for so many years and then naturally one day you will become Krishna devotee. No. Only by association of devotees, because devotee has devotion in their heart. Krishna se tomara, Krishna dite para, tomara shakti ache. Ami to kangal, Krishna Krishna boli, dhai tav pache pache. Krishna is yours, O great devotee of the Lord. You can give me Krishna. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur does a great detailed analysis in Madhurya Kadambini about what is pious activity and what is a source of devotion. Is piety the cause of devotion? No. If piety is not a cause of, if piety is a cause of devotion, then bhakti becomes dependent on piety. Then is Lord the cause of devotion? If Lord is cause of devotion, then why he is not giving devotion to everyone? Then is uh, devotee cause of devotion? So if devotee cause of devotion, then why devotee is not giving devotion to everyone? In that he analyzes that the Madhyama Adhikari preaches, and Madhyama Adhikari he discriminates prema, maitri, kripa, upeksha. And Krishna has made the devotee whole and sole proprietor of distributor of devotional service. So whoever devotee wants to give devotion to, because it is the devotion in the heart of the devotee which gives rise to devotion in somebody else's heart. So basically it is the devotee who can give devotion, especially Madhyam Adhikari. Because Uttam Adhikari, it says everybody equal, so he doesn't preach. And Kanishta Adhikari, he is not so qualified to preach. So devotee can give devotion. Mahaprabhu quotes a beautiful verse. Bhavapavargo brahmato yatha bhave janasya tarhi achyut satsamagama satsangamo yarhi sadaiva tadgato paravareshe tvajayate ratihi. Bhava apavarga brahmato yatha. When a living entity is wandering throughout the universe, when he becomes eligible for liberation, then what happens? Janasya tarahi achyuta satsama. Then, O Achyuta, then he associates with devotees. When a person becomes qualified for liberation, then he associates with devotees. Satsangamo yarahi sadaiva tadgato sadgato. Oh my Lord, your devotees, for them, you are the destination, you are their goal, sadgati. Sadgati of the devotees is you, O my Lord. Paravareshe tvajayate rati. So, because the devotees have you as their goal, when the living entity does satsanga, association of devotees, associates with them, paravareshe tvajayate rati, then he gets attraction for your lotus feet. So association of devotees is must. Nobody should feel that I don't need association now. It comes in 12th canto. One time Lord Shiva and Mother Parvati, they are traveling in the space, in the sky. They see Markandeya Muni doing tapasya. Parvati, she says, "Oh my Lord, let's go and give some benediction to this great sage. He is doing such a wonderful uh, austerity." He says, Lord Shiva says, "Oh Mother Parvati, he doesn't need any of our benedictions. But still we should go and talk to him. Because talking to great personality is like This Rishi is beneficial for people like us also. If Lord Shiva wants to associate with devotees, what to speak of anyone else? Because only devotees can give devotion. In devotion, in association of devotees, we advance. अथापि संवदिष्यामो भवानी एतेन साधुना अयम ही परमो लाभो नृणाम साधु समागम. Still, we should go and talk to this great sage. Athapi samvadishyam. Oh Bhavani, we should go and talk to this sage. Ayami paramo labho. Because it is so very beneficial for us also to associate with devotees. That's why all the great devotees, when Lord appears in front of them, they ask for association. Prahlad Maharaj asks for association. Yasmat, he says, uh, he says in one of the verses that I want association of devotees. Dhruv Maharaj also says, I want association of devotees. Bhakte moho pravahtam tvai me prasango bhuyadanant mahatam amalashayana. My Lord, I want association of your devotees who are amalashaya, they have no contaminated desires. In their association, I will naturally, easily cross this ocean of material existence. Prahlad Maharaj prays, Soham priyasya surida paradevataya lila kathastava narasimha virincha gita. Soham priyasya surida tava devat. I want association of your devotees and hear in their association about lila katha tava. What will happen? Anjast dharmenu grinan guna vipramukto durgani te padayugalaya hamsa sangha. Very easily I'll cross this ocean of material existence. So association is glorified a lot. Bhakti begins with association, continues with association, and the association never ends. There is no phase where, okay, now I don't need devotees. In spiritual world, it is all about association of devotees. Then only we can mitharati, mithartushti, parasparanukathanam, pavanam bhagavatesha. If there are no devotees, then with whom we'll discuss Harikatha? Because when we come and discuss Harikatha, then the nectar of Harikatha is churned out. And then Mahaprabhu says, actually, Krishna mercifully teaches his devotees. Krishna yadi kripa kare kon bhagyavane guru antaryami rupe shikhaye apane. Actually, it is Krishna who is so merciful. Krishna yadi kripa kare kon bhagyavane. If Krishna is merciful on some fortunate entity, Guru Antaryami Rupe Shikhaya Apane. He teaches in two ways. As Antaryami from inside and as spiritual master from outside. He's really working hard. Mahaprabhu, he actually, Mahaprabhu tells Sanatana Goswami that the Lord has delivered you from hellish situation of life. Bharauravh haite purire tomara uddhar कृपार समुद्र कृष्ण गंभीर अपार. Prabhupada writes, Krishna is working very gravely to protect his devotees. He is working very, very seriously. Inside, outside, always working hard. We are thinking we are working hard, but Krishna is working harder. Every moment he is guiding us, he is inspiring us, he is showing us the way. नैवोपयन्त्यपचितिं कवयस्तवेष ब्रह्मायुषापि कृतं वृद्धमुदं स्मरन्तः अन्तर्बहिस्तनुभृतामशुभं विदुन्वन् आचार्य चैत्यवपुषा स्वगतिं व्यनक्ति. Brahmaji is offering this prayer. This is Uddhava speaking after he was instructed by Krishna in the 11th canto. Uddhava is speaking this verse. He says, Oh my Lord, the greatest of the poets and the transcendental personality is expert in glorification and composing poetry. Naiva upayanti apachitim. They can't express their gratitude sufficiently for whatever you are doing for everyone. Even if they get the life of Brahma Ayush Api, even if they are great thinkers, they cannot express their gratitude. Antarbahistanu Ashubham Vidunvan. You are purifying them from inside and outside. From inside, Chaitya Guru as Paramatma, from outside as Acharya, as spiritual master. He's always working. And when one associates with devotees, then gradually the love of God is awakened. Sadhu Sangha Krishna Bhakti Shraddha Yadi Hoy, Bhakti Phala Prema Hoy, Sansara Yae Shay. Sadhu Sange, in association of devotees, Krishna Bhakti Shraddha. In association of devotees, if one develops faith in the process of devotional service, some sadhu sange Krishna bhakte shraddha yadi hoye, then bhakti phala prema hoye, then the fruit of devotional service arises, it fructifies. And samsara aishay, then this material existence is destroyed. It all happens in association. In association, the shraddha, the seed of faith grows. Seed of devotion grows, bhaktilata beach grows, shraddha grows. Shraddha shabde vishwas kahe, sudrir nishchay, Krishna bhakti koile sarv karmakrit hoye. Shraddha increases because kanishta madhyam uttam shraddha anusari. According to the shraddha, devotee has one gradually becomes advanced devotee. It all happens in association. When we associate with the devotees, start practicing, then we advance. Yadricha mat kathadau jata shraddhastu yappuman na nirvinno nati sakto bhakti yoga siddhida. Mahaprabhu quotes another verse from 11th canto. Krishna is speaking this to Uddhava. Yadrichaya. This is a very common word which comes many times in Bhagavatam, right? Yadrichaya. Somehow or other, out of its own accord. Mat kathado jata shraddha. If somebody develops attraction for my pastimes, as I have described in the scriptures, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, na nirvinna, na atisakta. Neither too much disgusted, nor too much attached. The qualification of practicing devotional service is one should not be disgusted with the material world, nor one should be attached to the material world. Then one can practice bhakti in a peaceful mindset. Disgust is a qualification for jnana. In third canto, Devahuti, when she approaches Kapiladev, her son, she says, I am disgusted with this material world. Can you please help me come out of this? At that time, Kapiladev, she tells, Oh mother, there are three ways to come out, to cross this material existence. He says, the adhyatmika yoga adhyatmika pumsam mato nishrayasayame. Adhyatmika yoga, there are three processes of transcending: jnana, yoga, and bhakti. And in that, he describes the beautiful process of devotional service and ultimately makes her mother favorable to the process of devotional service. But in the beginning, she was disgusted. Nirvinna nitaran bhuman asad indriya darshanat. Nirvinna, I am disgusted. Krishna says, Na nirvinna. One should not be disgusted. Because disgust makes one favorable for jnana. Devotee is not disgusted with this material world. He uses this material world to serve Krishna. Then one can awaken the dormant Krishna consciousness. And then Mahaprabhu starts describing the mercy of devotees. Mahat kripa bina kona karme bhakti nai Krishna bhakti dure raho samsara nahi kshay. What to speak of liberation from this material existence? One cannot, what to speak of getting devotional service? One cannot get even liberation from this material existence if one doesn't receive the mercy of the devotees. Mahat kripa vina kona karme bhakti nai. Whatever fruitive activity, pious activity one may do, he cannot get devotion if devotees' mercy is not there. Krishna Bhakti, forget about Krishna Bhakti, he will not get even liberation from this material existence. Prabhupada writes, by all the pious activities, one can get material opulence, but one cannot get devotion. Kona karme bhakti nae. You do any type of karma, any yoga, jnana, ashtanga, no, nothing can give bhakti. Only devotion, only devotee can give bhakti. So devotional service is obtained only by the mercy of the devotees. Without his mercy, one cannot even escape the material existence. And then Prabhupada writes how devotee is so very rare. Mahatma is a very rare personality. And people who are foolish, they think Krishna is an ordinary human being. And the devotees of the Lord, pure devotees of the Lord, they are also ordinary human beings. That is foolish mentality. That is hellish mentality, practically. If somebody thinks, oh, he is an ordinary person, and this Krishna is an ordinary human being, it is foolishness. Without mercy of the Lord, without the mercy of the devotees of the Lord, one cannot get devotion. And Lord will show mercy only if the devotee shows mercy. Therefore, Krishna tells Arjun, if somebody says he is my devotee, he is not my devotee. If somebody says he is devotee of my devotee, he is actually my devotee. Ye me bhakta jana partha, na me bhaktasya te jana. Mad bhaktanam chaye bhakta te me bhakta tamamata. And then Mahaprabhu quotes a series of verses glorifying the mercy of devotees. Rahu ganai tat tapasa nayati na che jaya nirvapanad grihadva na chandasa nay vajalagni suryai vina mahatpad rajo abhishekam. Jad Bharat is explaining the science of devotional service to Rahugana. O Rahugan, devotional service is not possible by tapasya, ijjaya. Ijjaya means worshipping the deity. Nirvapanad grihadva, if somebody leaves family, takes sannyas, he cannot get devotion. Rahugane tat tapasana yati. Not by tapasya, not by worshipping the deity, not by taking sannyas. Na chandasanai vajalagni suryai. Not by chanting mantras, hymns, not by worshipping Surya, Chandra, not by exposing oneself to the heat and the cold. Bhakti is only possible by Vina Mahatpada Rajo Abhishekam. Unless one receives the mercy of the devotees of the Lord, one cannot get devotion. When Prahlad was asked by Hiranyakashipu, Oh Prahlad, what did you learn? What is the best thing you learned? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Pada Sevanam. Oh, Hiranyakashipu became so angry. He chastised his teachers. Why have you taught all these things? They said, I also don't know. We also don't know how we will teach him. For him, bhakti is spontaneous. Naisargiki rati. Hiranyakashipu says, how you got this consciousness and mentality? Prahlad says, don't worry, oh my father, you will never get such mentality and consciousness. Unless you smear the dust of the devotees of Lord on and cover your body with their dust, there is no hope for you. Naisham matistavadurukraham kramangrim sparshatyanarthapagamo yadartha mahiyasam padarajobhishekam nishkinchana nam namrinita yavat. Unless one attains the dust of the feet of the devotees, Mahiyasam Padarajobhishekam. Do the abhishek of the dust of the devotees. Mankind cannot turn their attention towards Krishna. And then the famous verse Mahaprabhu quotes Sadhu Sangha Sarvashastra Koye Lavamatra Sadhu Sangha Sarvasiddhi Hoy. By association of devotees for sadhus, even for a moment, one can achieve all the perfection. All the great scriptures, they tell only this. Sadhu Sangha Sarva Shastra Koye. Tulayam Lavenapi Na Swargam Na Punarbhavam Bhagavata Sangi Sangasya Martyanam Kimutashisha. Tulayam Lavenapi Na. You cannot compare even a fraction of association with the heavenly benediction, attainment of heavenly planets. Na swargam, na punarbhavam, not even liberation. You cannot even compare liberation with a fraction of association of devotees. If you put liberation on one side of the weighing scale, on the other side, a moment of association of devotees, which is more powerful, Bhagavatam says association of devotees is more powerful. Tulayam lavenapi na swargam na punarbhavam bhagavata sangi sangasya martyanam kimutasisha. If all these things are insignificant, if if heavenly pleasure, if liberation is insignificant, what to speak of worldly pleasures? Martyanam, what to speak of all these material benedictions? They are not even questioned. Bhagavatam is full of such descriptions of glorification of association. Shanardhenapi tulage. In the another verse, half a moment of association is glorified. So that's how association of devotees is so very powerful. It cannot be compared to any of the rituals. Thousands of rituals, attainment of heaven, liberation, they are insignificant in front of association of devotees. And then Mahaprabhu starts describing the various types of devotees, classification of devotees. He says, one achieves Shraddha in Bhakti by association of devotees, and by that Shraddha one grows. So different levels of devotees, they are depending on the level of Shraddha they have. Krishna is so merciful that he has given all these instructions in Bhagavad Gita, aiming Arjun. He is telling Arjun, but he is actually telling the whole world. Only for one purpose, to protect the world. So that the world can come to the right understanding. Sarva guhyatamam bhuya shruno me paramam vachah ishtosi me dridam iti tato vakshyami te hitam. In 18th chapter, 64th verse, Krishna is saying, O Arjun, now I am going to reveal you the most confidential knowledge. Sarva guhyatamam. Guhya, guhyatar, guhyatam. Sarva guhyatam. It is the most confidential instruction. Shrunume paramam vachaha. I am again telling you because he had told earlier also. Again he is telling. Because why I am telling you? Because you are my very dear friend. Ishto sime. Therefore, please hear this from me. For your tato vakshyami te hitam, for your benefit I will be telling you. What is that? Manmana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishyasi satyam te pratijane priyosi me. Become my devotee. Always remember me. Always think of me. Render devotional service unto me. Become my devotee. Offer worship unto me. In this way, you will come to me without fail. So although In the previous verses, Krishna explained so many different things. He explained about some karma or jnana or yoga, but in the end, he gave the highest instruction, the process of pure devotional service. And this last instruction, these are the practically last instructions of Krishna. They are the most powerful one. And therefore, Mahaprabhu continues, if a devotee has faith in the strength of this order, then he worships Krishna. He gives up all the other activities. A devotee should be having this firm conviction. That is faith. That till the time I am practicing devotional service, no other ritual, no other extra worship of all the other devatas, nothing is needed. If this faith comes, this is pure faith. Pure faith means I will depend on Krishna only, nothing else. I'll not go to devatas for solving my problems. I'll not go to any other karma kandi rituals. I will depend on Krishna for everything. Tavat karmani purvita na nirvidyeta yavata matkatha shravanado va shraddha yavanna jayate. Till the time his faith has not awakened in the process of devotional service, why should do all the karma kandi rituals? After the faith has arisen, one should not do all these rituals. One should be very clear with this understanding. We are here to practice pure devotional service. Anya Vilashita Shunya Bhakti is very rare. The tendencies of Gyan and Karma, they are so very deeply rooted. If we are not careful, this pure devotional faith which we have, it will get contaminated. It can get contaminated very easily. Oh, you have this problem in your astrological chart. You worship this devata. You do this puja. And then it will be solved. And then you'll worship Krishna. Na? What's the problem? No. We are risking our faith. Yo yo yamyam tanum bhakta shraddhaya architam ichchati tasya achala shraddham tameva vidadhamyaham. Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita, if somebody worships the devatas, I make their faith strong in that devata. So never ever we should mix our faith. It is very risky. By somehow, by some great fortune, we have received this pure devotional seed, nourish it properly. That is a faith. Shraddha shabde vishwasa kahe sudrida nischay Krishne bhakti koile sarva karma krit hoye. That is the faith we have to cultivate. By worshipping Krishna, by doing devotional service, sarva karma krit. Nothing else is needed to be done. No other karma kandi rituals. No other worship of other devatas. Prabhupada writes, firm faith and confidence are called Shraddha. When one engages in devotional service of the Lord, he is understood to have performed all the other responsibilities. Oh, your Kula Devata worship you are not doing. You are not worshipping your Ishtadeva, your Kula Deva. All the worship is done by worshipping Krishna. One is free from the debt of all the other things. Devarshi bhutap trinam pitrinam nakinkaro nayam ranicharajan sarvatmanaya sharanam sharanyam tato mukundam parihritte kartum. After one surrenders to Krishna, oh Krishna, now I am yours. No need to do any other rituals. One is free from all the debts. Prabhupada writes, fruitive activity is meant to satisfy the senses. But when one awakens to Krishna consciousness, one does not have to work separately to enjoy. Krishna consciousness is all blissful. Somebody asked Prabhupada, Swamiji, what do you do for recreation? Whole day you are chanting, reading, hearing. What do you do for recreation? मतलब जीवन में मजा कैसे करते हैं आप? Prabhupada said, our whole life is recreation. Who gets up in the morning, 4 o'clock and starts dancing? We meet good people, we eat good prasad, we go to nice places. Our whole life is recreation. So the process of devotional service is a blissful one. By satisfying Krishna, everything is done. Yatha taroramula nishechanena tripyanti tatskanda bhujopashakha pranopahara cha tathendriyanam tathaiva sarvaranamachyutejya. Just like by watering the root of the tree, entire tree is nourished. By putting food in the stomach, entire body is nourished. Similarly, Achyuta Ejya, by worshipping Krishna, everyone else is satisfied. All the devtas are satisfied. So I should not be so much concerned about worshipping all the devtas and doing all the pujas. What about the Shraddha ceremonies and all the other things? Shraddha and all these things, they can be done in one circumstance. If the families, the ritual, the tradition is going on, and if we don't do it, then our family will get disturbed. Just to pacify them, a devotee can do all these rituals. But one should not put faith in these rituals. Oh, without doing Shraddha ceremony, how will my ancestor get benefited? That means we have not understood the science of devotional service. The devotional service is much unlimited times more powerful than any other ritualistic ceremonies. That is a faith and understanding devotee should have. You should never ever think, okay, I'm practicing bhakti, but this all these rituals are important. I'll do this also, na. What is the problem? There is a big problem. We are risking our faith. We are not putting faith in Krishna. But if the family is pushing us, if they say, oh, what type of bhakti you're doing, you're going to ISKCON and you have stopped all your family rituals, just to pacify them, you do all these rituals. But don't put faith in them. As Krishna says in the last verse of the 17th chapter, Bhagavad Gita, अश्रद्धया हुतं दत्तं तपस्तप्तं कृतं चयत् असत् इति उच्यते पार्थ न च तत् प्रेत्य नो इह. Without faith, you do any yajna, any tapa, any ritual, any oblation, you will not get the result of it. That means you will not be affected by it. So don't put faith in any of the rituals. You do it nicely. Whatever family wants, do it. But don't put faith. Oh, इसके बिना तो नहीं होगा. If we are putting faith in the rituals, that means if we are thinking this ritual is also important, otherwise my ancestors will not get benefited. Are Trisaptabhi Pita Puta. Are 21 generations are benefited. Nrityanti Pitaras Sarve Nrityanti Cha Pitamaha Madhvamshe Vaishnav Jata Sametrata Bhavishyati. Whenever somebody takes to the process of devotional service, the ancestors in the Pitriloka, they start dancing. Madhvamshe Vaishnava Jatare, in my family, my our devotee has taken birth. He will deliver me. Sametrata Bhavishyati. So that's how we should understand this process of devotional service is so very wonderful. And then Mahaprabhu starts the classification of devotees based on the faith. Another famous verse Mahaprabhu quotes, Shraddhavan jana hoye bhakti adhikari kanishta madhyama uttama shraddha anusar. Shraddhavan jan is qualified for devotion. The qualification for devotion is Shraddha, the faith. Krishna bhakti kaile sarva karam krit. And that bhakti, that Shraddha grows. According to the Shraddha, somebody is a Uttam devotee, somebody is Madhyam, somebody is a Kanishta, topmost devotee, intermediate devotee, inferior devotee. Prabhupada writes, the word Shraddhavan means understanding Krishna to be the Sammam Bonam. That is Shraddha. Understanding Krishna to be all in all. We should not, many times this word is misinterpreted. Surrender, unless you are a surrendered soul, you have to do all the rituals. At which stage a devotee will say, I am surrendered? That means we'll always have to do some rituals. Shraddhavan means understanding Krishna to be Samambunam. You should have this understanding that Krishna is a supreme Lord. If one has full faith in Krishna and confidence in him, one is eligible to discharge devotional service confidentially. That is a faith. Okay, I will not go to anyone else. I'll worship only Krishna. If I want something, I'll go to Krishna only. That is a faith. Sometimes some devotees say, if you want pure devotional service, go to Krishna. For others, you can take help of other, devtas. Now, what is the problem? Go to Krishna for pure devotional service. Why you are troubling Krishna for all the other small, small things? Where Krishna has said this, that for all the other things, go to devtas. Krishna says, whatever you want, come to me. Akama sarva kamoa moksha kamo udaradi tivrena bhakti yogene yajeta purusham param. Krishna says, I will give you everything. Come to me. Why you are going anywhere else? So that is the faith of a devotee. The sincere devotee is one who depends on Krishna. Then he explains who is a Uttam Adhikari. Shastra Yukte Sanipuna Dirshad Shastra Yukte Sanipuna Dirshadayar Uttam Adhikari Say Taraye Sansar. So now who is a Uttam Adhikari? He is expert in the scriptural knowledge. Shastra Yukte Nipuna. And he is Dridha Shraddhavan. And his faith in devotional service is very, very firm. Nobody can shake his faith in devotional service. And this Uttam Adhikari can deliver the world. Uttam Adhikari say Taraye Sansar. He can deliver the world. He sees everyone on the platform of the soul. And he can deliver everyone. Just by taking darshan of this Uttam Adhikari, one becomes devotee. Shastrayukte cha nipuna sarvatha dृढ़ निश्चयः प्रौढ़शब्दोऽधिकारीय sabhakta uttamo matah. Mahaprabhu quotes a verse from 11th canto. Krishna is telling who is the Uttamadhikari. Shastra Yuktye cha nipunaha. He is expert in scriptures. Sarvatha dृढ़ निश्चय. He has a firm faith and deep conviction. And he is Praud Shraddha. His Shraddha is proud. That means mature faith. He has very deep, mature faith. And this devotee is called as Uttamadhikari devotee. Then who is a Madhyamadhikari? Shastra Yukte Nai Jane Dridha Shraddhavan Madhyamadhikari Sai Mahabhagyavan. Now Madhyamadhikari he's not so expert in scriptures. He knows little bit of scriptures, but he is Dridha Shraddhavan. You cannot shake his faith. He may not be able to defend. He may not be able to defeat. But he is convinced that I'm not able to fight with this person, but I know I am following the best path. So this is Madhyamadhikari. Okay, Madhyamadhikari, he knows some things. He has read little bit of scriptures. He's not so expert. But he is Mahabhagyavan. Madhyamadhikari say Mahabhagyavan because it is the faith which makes a person Bhagyavan. And he has Dridha Shraddha. His faith is also Dridha, very determined faith. Yash Shastradishu Anipuna. Bhagavatam says. Shastra is not so Nipuna, but Shraddhavan. He is very, very firm faith. That is Madhyamadhikari. And then who is a Kanishtadhikari? Yahara Komala Shraddha se Kanishtajan Krame Krame Teho Bhakta Hoibe Uttam Komal Shraddha. Somebody will say something, you start thinking, अरे बराबर बोल रहा है, मैं गड़बड़ तो नहीं कर रहा, जल्दी तो नहीं आ गया. Should I practice bhakti now or later? He is Komal Shraddha, very fragile, soft faith. Gradually he rises. Yo bhavet komal shraddha sa kanishto nigadyate. When the shraddha is not so strong, he is called a neophyte devotee. Neophyte means one who is always fighting, always fighting for small, small things. Oh, ये problem हो गया, इस devotee के साथ ऐसा हो गया problem. So that is a Kanishta Adhikari devotee. So that's how Mahaprabhu, he continues his explanation. We'll continue in the next class about the classification of devotees based on the attachment and love for the Lord. We'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki jai.